government accepted that every child should go to school, but with this, how is the education going to be? Nobody knew about it. So they were allowed to be in class and stay there as long as they want to, and after that, they could go away. I don't know if they could stay until they are old people. Nobody knew. So for me, it was really a big challenge. So then I started thinking, how am I going to solve this challenge?
Watoto wanakulilia, watoto wanakulilia, rudi we bwana rudi, rudi we bwana rudi, mkeo analalamika, mkeo analalamika.
We have 3 groups of the children who are going to school, and these groups we have divided them to those who are able to do something and the least able. We cannot put them all those who cannot do in one group. So we mix. So it depends on what activity. Some activities we mix them, some activities we don't mix them. Like for example, when it's art, those who don't know completely, they are on that activity of just rolling paper or pounding, or that activity which they can manage ability-wise. But in some activity we mix them so that they can help each other.
The gardening and the art and the poultry and the farm activities. These are like our main daily activities in different hours. Because in the morning, all of them are participating in the environment cleaning and washing themselves. And then after that, around 8, they are separating. Some are continuing in the garden, some are going to the activities like card or weaving, and those small children are going to school.
In schools, as I say, that the government, when they accepted that all children should go to school, it means they have a special class in the normal school. They don't mix in the same class with the normal children and the mentally disabled there, no. But they have their own classrooms.
Sigana wakula bwino, wakuzidwa bwino, apita kusukulu, paka kumaliza, yakwana ntawi kuti, ayambe banja lake, apeze banja lake.
So I have started something, for example, in Kundi, where they are learning some. They keep some chickens, they make some vegetable gardens, but of course it needs a lot of investment. You have to have housings there. You have to have lots of working tools. So then what I do now is to put a kind of system, to establish a skeleton system, that we have Mehayo as a training place, and then Kundi as a residential place. So to have a kind of village, I call it Tunaweza village, where the youngsters can go there and live independently. I have to have, according to what we plan, we have to have 9 clients living in the farm. But you can see, when they go there, they stay there in a week, they want to come there, here, and because they are less social recreation activities there. They feel that they are dumped there. There's so much work in the farm. So they normally want to come back. We have about 13 rooms now. All together we have 63 clients. We are dividing them according to age and according to how they like themselves. I started these services for the mentally disabled in Morogoro in 1990 in one school which is in town called Kikundi Primary School. At that time, there was no policy which says how their education should be. In fact, in my first months after the training I had, I spent looking for the children. So it was really hard to get them. But at last I got them, about 45 in town of different ages. In my first 2 years, then I met a lady from Netherlands. I told my worries, my problems, my challenges, that now I have this group, but I don't know the outcome of them. Yvonne suggested if we could use my land. So she applied here and there, and then she got the first positive letter was from Switzerland, and they gave us the first capital to start up here, Mehayo. So then I got it. Of course, during those times, the checks were staying so long at the banks. I was able to get the money in February 1995. It's when then I started constructing the chicken houses and bought some materials, some chicken feeding and so on. And our official birth date was the 1st of August 1995 when we started here. And when I was looking for help here, is when I met this man called Leo. Leo, well, the second name is very difficult, but he was the leader of the one Finnish organization for development, for development in developing countries, KEPA. It was the organization. So when I went to him, he supported me the first month, the second month. The third month, he was not able to support me. I mean, he supported me, but said, look here, I'm not going to support you as Linda, you know. So you have to organize, or you have to register an organization, establish an organization, and then we can see how we can help you through that. When many Finnish people are coming, then of course I met some who were interested to support those who had small organization like Huvinka Association, who did a lot of buildings. All these buildings, big buildings which you see, have been built by Huvinka Association for Finland through Mr. Leo. Of course, they are sending their money to Mr. Leo, helping us building those buildings. From there on, students have been coming from this college and from other colleges. Of course, they talk themselves. Now I have 3 colleges from Norway who are coming. This actually also in Belgium. So getting these students and staying with us, we find is a very, very big financial support.
A long time ago, we talked about doing some volunteering. And yeah, we looked at some different projects from our organization back home that I could say luckily they didn't work out, because our organization here in Tanzania, they had they started working with Mehayo, so we were told about this, and then that's how we ended up going here, thinking it sounded really, really interesting.
We didn't talk about what are we going to do here. We're going to do this and this. We were
very open-minded when we came here, like not sure how the daily routine would be and what our task would be. So we just took one step at a time and ended up playing a lot with the kids.
Yeah. And Mama Linda didn't say you have to do like this and this and this. You can just do what you want.
Yeah.
So
our schedule was very open and free.
Yeah.
By sending volunteers to Mehayo, then they are supporters. They are supporting, paying for staying at Mehayo is the biggest income which we get for a year. I mean, they can teach and help. Some they come with the professionalism or something. So, and my volunteers, I said, they are just volunteers with no education. Some of them not even in secondary school. So we get a kind of training to some volunteers. And whatever, those who have been here a long time, they have really acquired some skills of staying with the kids from the volunteers. So they are teachers or trainers, they are workers physically supporting Mehayo, and they are donors. That's how I look at anybody who come to Mehayo.
I think for the foreign volunteers, the challenging is the working system. It's most challenging aspect for them. Yes, because they're used to going a systematic way of doing things with machines and well supervision, management. So it's the challenges I see myself is only on that that aspect of working routine and yes.
Kama ndege wangani rieruka kwenda mbali kutafuta malisho ya kijani, jua likizama we utarejea kiotani.
Now there are 20 volunteers whom I'm with. But of course, plus me, plus Lucy.
It's difficult to find volunteers because we as Tanzania, we don't have that habit of doing a voluntary work, even for the normal other projects. You can find the graduates from universities, from colleges, they are looking for a new job but not looking for voluntarism. So that we don't have that habit of voluntarism. So it's difficult to find them. We do not employ because we do not have proper support for. It's only for some little amount for helping some minor things for living, not a proper salary. So if we want to come and volunteer, yeah, it's fine. But the conditions like this, yes. So it's difficult, very hard.
I choose Mehayo to volunteer here because I don't have permanent employment at the place I was, because I am volunteer as a teacher, primary teacher, and I want to change the environment. I met the Mama Ngido at Dodoma. I'm told her that yes, I'm here, but I'm trying to search different places to have maybe some colleges like that. And she advised me that if possible, I have my organization there, but it's private. We pay some amount, is not much, but can fulfill, and also because of the environment also.
We are not able to pay for the qualified professionals. Of course, we need teachers, we need physiotherapists, we need social workers, we need so many professionals, especially when I'm thinking of Mkundi. But how? I don't know. For now, I have only volunteers. And for volunteers who can stay with me are those with no qualifications. Mostly not even educations, just standard 7.
We in Tanzania, especially the policy on education and training, more emphasis is put on the 3 P's: private, public, partnership. So we are every day encouraging private sector to join hand with the government so as to participate in the process of making sure that Tanzanians reach a stage where they can live a reasonable kind of life. At Mehayo's center, for example, sometimes the government does donate something to make sure that the center continues. Yes, and in many of the centers for learners with disabilities, the government is giving a very big input in terms of paying salaries for employed teachers, accommodation expenses, as well as meals the government pays for such, so as to help the partner to become encouraged and continue providing the services, because we believe as a government that the private sector is coming in to fill the gap that the government has failed to give it fully.
On their mind, they create something that you have a lot of money because you have support, you have people from abroad. So coming to the government and asking the government to support while you are receiving funds from abroad, from other organizations, it's kind of, so it's not good cooperation, because they are looking at us on a different way. So only if you are there to ask for some permission to buy or to import something, that's kind of cooperation. Though you have to struggle, of course. You have to struggle until you get that permission.
When it comes to the issue of planning, for example, it is the institution like Mehayo to sit down with the district authorities to plan it together, and then feedback is given to the central government, to the ministry.
That plan basically was for the government officials. We as a government, we set up the plan that these people should work in these areas. If they come to you and ask, for example, for any support, for any reference based on these guidelines, make sure these organizations are working on this. If they are giving you a report, they should report on these issues.
We in Tanzania are trying our best in collaboration with organization of people with disabilities to continue sensitizing the community and political leaders to know that persons with disabilities are ordinary people like we. Hence they need and they deserve to be provided with all kinds of services that a normal person, but I'm afraid, I don't know if people are normal, because in a way everyone has a disadvantage of some sort. So in other words, I can say that so far as I know, there is nobody who is normal. Most of the people in the world have some abnormalities at a different degree. The biggest challenge is awareness of people. Because if everybody in the government, for example, would be made aware, then even the budgeting process concerning the needs of people with disabilities would be taken care and would be seriously be considered. But because of this problem of these people not being aware, sometimes we face some difficulties in even obtaining reasonable, adequate budget for providing education to learners with disabilities.
We have to meet in a point where we have a limit. Then we say 50 is enough for us. Then we have planned for those 50. So if we deal with them with 5 years or 10 years, then after that, then we say, okay, now we are taking new ones. We deal with them because we say we want to learn them on doing some life skill activities. It's not easy for them to learn in a month or a year.
Yeah. Well, I would say, I'm very impressed with the way they work with the children. We noticed that rather quickly. the way they know the children, because they spend a lot of time with them, so they know the special things for every child.
Yeah, I've talked about John as well when he plays with the children with the drama and the music. They just love him, and you need to see it. It's really fantastic. So I think the way everything clicks and how the children and the volunteers are together is just, it makes sense. It's really nice, and it works. For me, it works. Yeah.
Now, of course, I'm taking it as an experimental place to see what is working and what is not working, even myself. Yeah. But it takes time because it needs a lot of investment. And I say only friends who are big supporters of Mehayo. I wish one day, if I am able, but I don't know how, to really write something and be able to get so much money to establish especially Mehayo, the Tunaweza village there. I think it needs a lot of input there. But anyway, even Mehayo did not know how that it will be developed this way. So I still believe that slowly, even Tunaweza village can grow to be the village which I'm dreaming of.
Sasa imetosha, sasa imetosha, sasa imetosha, sasa inatosha. Tumezarauliwa, tumepuuzwa, tumenyanyaswa. Sasa imetosha. Sasa imetosha. Sasa imetosha.